Frima. I know Frima. So, this is Talent Not Included. Kind of a wacky story. I'll try to piece it together quickly for you. So you have three monsters who are big Shakespeare enthusiasts. One wants to write a play, one wants to play a video game, and the third says, well, we combine the two. They pool their money together. And yeah, they kind of make a deal with the devil. Who's going to take over some of the production duties, I guess including hiring actors and actresses. I guess actors. I don't know. Why would the male one be plural? Anyway, so Zot goes out and hires the actors to be in the play. So let's get the play started. So I only played the single player portion. I did try the multiplayer with the kids. Little tough for them, so I just kind of stuck with single player. And each scene is comprised of several single screen, I guess for lack of a better word, scenes. So you start off as Cecil, who has 5 hearts, so he has a lot of health. He's a sword, which is kind of slow. And all the characters can double jump. But the game does a good job of making sure that you understand exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing. And Cecil has a dash, which is also offensive. It lets you clear areas as well as hit enemies. Every character can do the wall stick. I believe, yeah, they all can do it. And you want to get to the end of each scene. And the game definitely has a sense of humor. Some anachronistic things that just don't really make any sense occur. That's fine. Little levity is sometimes necessary. So thankfully, there are hearts that are... I found the hearts to be placed pretty well at the spots where I certainly needed them most. But you will get a handle on your abilities, and ultimately you are scored on how you do. And a standing ovation pretty much means like you get the gold medal, the gold, arts award, and that basically means like you get points for killing all the enemies. You also die, and when you do die, you start off from the beginning of that scene. So that, not that particular screen, but that screen within that scene. What was my other point? I lost track. I need to write this stuff down. And you will face the bosses several times throughout your play. They're interesting. And then you have Bonnie. Bonnie has a little bit one less heart, but she's much faster. She has a dagger, and her dagger is much faster than Cecil's sword. And she has a roll, and the roll is kind of like it's kind of like an like a temporary invincibility, so you can kind of roll over spikes or I guess flaming gears, I guess. And your reflexes have to be pretty fast for some of these sections. It gets kind of nuts. I did die a fair amount of times just doing dumb things like you just saw. Yeah, it gets pretty hairy. But with persistence, you can make it through anything. And there's some more ability. Cecil does learn how to bullet jump, but bullet jumping is definitely a big part of Bonnie's act. So you gotta learn how to bullet jump. That's just, everybody does. And once again, the reflexes. It's nuts. It's nuts. Yep, and I'd redo this scene several times because I just wasn't finding the openings. That was on me. Eventually, I did, but there was failure first, and then success. That's kind of how it often goes. and you will face the second of the three creatures who hired you to be in their play. And last character is Gundalf. I guess his name's not Gandalf, it's Gundalf, I think, or Gandalf. And his ability is to teleport, and he also has a projectile, which really kind of comes in handy because he has even less health than Bonnie does. So, as the mage or the magic user is often the weakest character in terms of health and things like that. So, Gandalf has, I'm not sure why. One thing you have to pay attention to, I don't know if you just peeped that, a projectile from one scene carried over to the next. You have to be careful with that about this game, because there can be flaming bullets, regular bullets, certain hazards that will be a part of one scene, even though it's rotating away, they don't go away with the scenery. So you have to watch out because you can get hit. That happened to me quite a bit. So, yeah. Anyway, I really had a good time with Talent Not Included. It kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know. It's on Steam. I had a lot of fun with it. It's very colorful, controls very well. I like the three characters. They all have the basic subset of moves, but they're used a little differently, and the game definitely gives you a good challenge. And I look forward to maybe playing some co-op with someone who can keep up. Gotta get these kids into shape for these intense platformers. We have homework to do after their actual home. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, yeah, check that game out. It's pretty good. Feel free to like, subscribe, click on either one of these videos and be taken to a playlist with many, many more videos. Leave a comment. I think that's it.